Hey guys, Bill Soriano from Pittsburgh. You know what to do, man. If you like my videos, make sure you comment below, like the video, leave a comment, and also subscribe to the channel. Hey guys, we're really excited in the community about this new trading plan that we have that's combining our community's proprietary indicator, the ATH RSI crossover arrow indicator that was developed by the leader of our community, Michael Angel Martin. It's a proprietary indicator. You can't get it anywhere else except from us. And we use that in conjunction with Sniper Pro, the JIFU Sniper Pro scanner, in order to generate trade ideas. Okay. And again, guys, I'm not an investment advisor. What I share with you on these videos and in these PDF files are for educational purposes only, right? Forex is risky. You can lose all or part of your capital. And if you're a beginner or if you're even an advanced trader using a new strategy like this one, you should always trade on demo first. So keep that in mind. But we're very excited about this. I'm so excited that I just went out and purchased another funded challenge, right? Because this just a couple days looking at this, guys, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to go through a lot of pairs here tonight. I got to do it very quickly or this video will be too long. But this is the Sniper Pro Scanner Overview PDF. And this is the video that I put out a couple days ago. Okay. And this is now the top trading plan strategy that we're using for Sniper Pro. It's the ATH RSI Sniper Pro 15-minute. Now, the community guys that I'm with, leaders in the community are Michael Angel Martin, David Thomas, Jason Hall. These guys are great. And they teach us strategy on the 1 minute time frame. Now, me, I don't like trading on the 1 minute time frame, so I bring it to you in a style that I think is more appropriate for beginners and even intermediate traders. And I think the 15-minute gives you more than enough opportunities, and it gives you ample time to be able to decide if this trade idea that you get is actually a valid trade that you could possibly take, right? And again, on demo, if you're a beginner or if you are even advanced and you're just trying this strategy out for the first time, you want to do at least 25 or 50 trades on demo before you risk any of your real money on this. But from what I've seen the last couple days, and I'll show you, it is lights out, man. It's lights out. And again, in the community, they're a little bit more lax, with the rules for it. But I am a stickler on the rules, guys, because I like to keep things 100%, or like I like to say, damn near 100% objective. Okay. And the only way you can do that is by sticking to the rules. Okay. If you're looking at all 28 pairs, you will get more than enough trades, as I'm going to show you, if you stick to these rules very strictly. And here's the rules, guys. They're right under this video here. You're going to want to make sure you watch this video, and the rules are right under here, right? For a long position, right? You need all six of these conditions to be met on the alert candle. Okay. It has to be that candle, guys. Uh, and, again, in the community, they teach, well, if it wasn't that candle, but the next candle gives you everything you need, it's safe to take the trade. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. And you're going to test it out on demo anyway. But that's if I think that's more if you're just a lot of people in the community just trade like they just look at three or four pairs during the session. And so they want to make sure they can get a trade. So they might be a little bit laxed with that with the rules here, but I'm not. I look at all 28 pairs, and so these are the rules here, right? You have to have the blue RSI alert for a buy, and that is the indicator. That's our proprietary indicator. Again, guys, you have to join us in JIFU in order to get access to our community's indicator and also the JIFU scanner, the Sniper Pro scanner. It's just one of 9 scanners that you get, along with all the live training, the live academies, the travel portal, the health products that you'll have access to, everything in there, guys. But you'll have to join us in order to get this. You could try it out for 7 days, right? They have a 7-day money back guarantee. You can get started. You can pay your money. You can try it out after 5 or 6 days. If you think I'm lying to you, you can contact the company, ask them for a refund, and they will gladly give it to you as long as you're within that 7-day window. So again, the blue RSI alert, price crosses and closes above the 55. Very important. These two conditions you can see on TradingView. The other four conditions you need to go to the Sniper Pro scanner to actually see. That's was price in the lower Bollinger Band. Again, this is for a buy. And again, was the close of the candle not past the midway point of the Bollinger Bands? And I'll show you that in a second here. That's new. That's something that I just added to this. Okay. You need a blue or gold candle. You need a blue sniper arrow or a super sniper arrow, blue, below that candle, and you need a blue dash trend line and a blue dash trend line and sniper line in the sniper later, which is below the scanner. Now for sales, it's just the opposite. Red RSI alert, price crosses and closes below the 55. Price was an upper Bollinger Band, closed not past midway point, red or gold candle, red sniper arrow or super sniper arrow above candle, red dash trend line and sniper later, right? There, that's it. All six of them need to be met on the alert candle, right? If you get all six required conditions, you can enter the trade at that candle close. This is why I like the 15-minute. It's too hard to do that on the 1 minute. You got to wait and see if all six conditions are met, and then you got to try to get in the trade. By the time you do that, that minute's probably up and a new candle's painted, right? Other conditions for extra confirmation, they're optional, not required. They just tell you, hey, this one's going to be really good. In addition to those six, sniper later blue crossover dots for buys, red for sells. That's in the sniper later. A blue bullish retest for buys, red for sells, and real-time divergence. Trade management, very important, guys. Place stop loss behind recent low or high. You go for an initial 1 to 2 on all trades. Now, this is what needs to be tested out. This is what I'm going to be testing out the rest of this week and maybe next week before I start taking my funded challenge. But at 1 to 1, is it 1 to 1 or is it at 1 to 1.5? So if you're risking, 20 pips on a trade, right? When you're up 20 pips, you would move your stop loss to break even. You don't close any part of the position ever until you close the whole thing. You just move the stop loss to break even. So you cannot lose money now on that trade. Now, you may lose a little bit because of the spread, but it's essentially a break-even trade, right? So that's it, 1 to 1, or should it be 1 to 1.5? So if you're risking 20 pips, when you're up 30 pips, you move your stop loss to break even. Now, once you can exit, once you're up 1 to 2, right? Or move your stop loss to the 1 to 1 point and trail it. So once you go past the 1 to 2, once you're up by 2%, again, if you're risking 1%, which you shouldn't be risking any more than that, once you're up by 2%, you move the stop loss to +1. Once you go past the 3%, you move the stop loss to +2, so on and so forth. You exit the trade if you get an alert in the opposite direction. That would be on TradingView. Or you exit the trade if you get a scorecard candle in the opposite direction on the Sniper Pro. Okay, so those are the rules, guys. Okay, those are the rules. This is again, our top trading plan strategy. Now I'm going to pull up the pairs here and I'm going to show you, and there were just so many examples on the 15-minute, and that's why I'm telling you, you don't need to go down to the 1 minute, because this is just from Friday, last night, and today. So this is from Friday, June 13th, yesterday, Sunday the 15th, and today the 16th. All these examples, all these pairs here that have a flag by them, whether it's red, blue, or purple, are examples of ATH alerts, right? And I'm going to show you right here, AUDCAD. Okay. Now, here was one right here. Okay. Now we're looking here. Sorry about that. We're looking here, and guys, again, there's so many of these. I can't go back and confirm every one for you on Sniper Pro, right? I am going to show you though, try to show you, at least one, I guess, on each one. I got to show you something here, right? Let me just skip back to, remember when you're on Sniper Pro, make sure you have your time zone set here, right? Otherwise, you'll have a different candle on TradingView than you have in here, right? So let me just put this on AUDCAD here real fast. I, I already showed this one in the other video, so I'm not going to show this one again. But there you see right there, again, you have this is our communities indicator. Okay, you'll get access to this once you join us. We have a Discord channel. We have training on this, the communities training. This is my way of using the strategy on the 15-minute. The community teaches it on the 1 minute, but they clearly tell you you can use it on any time frame you want. It works on any time frame, guys. I'm showing it to you on the 15-minute, okay? Now, this was AUDCHF. This was a trade from Friday, or from Thursday, actually, right? Boom, look at that. It was a 1 to 5.44, right? 1 to 5.44. You see here, none of these other ATHs are valid because the price is not crossing the 55 and either closing below it for a sell or closing above it for a buy. Now here, I'm going to show you a bunch of examples here where the ATH alert did go off, okay? And the candle did close below the 55 here. It closed above the 55 here, above the 55 here. All three of these did not meet the other 6 required conditions, the other 4 required conditions. These are 2 of the 6 conditions. The other conditions were not met, right? This trade would have lost. This trade would have lost. This trade would have lost. You stayed out of those trades because the conditions were not met. Let me show you what I mean here on just one of them. Let's pull up AJ for you real fast. AUDJPY, again, we're on the 15-minute. Let's look at this one here. This is at the 16:30 or 4:30 p.m. on Friday the 13th. 4:30 p.m. it was a buy, right? We're very excited about this, guys. This is unbelievable. You have to get started and try this out. Okay, I went too far back here, so okay, here we are. This is the 4:30 candle on the 13th. Was it 14:30 or what was it? Let me see. I'm sorry, it's 16:30. Okay, there is the 16:30 candle. Okay, you can see it's a blue candle. That's good. There's a blue sniper arrow below it. That's good. And there's a blue trend, and the sniper later line is blue as well. The problem is, guys, that price does not move into the lower Bollinger Band. Again, on this scanner, let me make this a little bigger for you just to show you this. You have upper Bollinger Bands and lower Bollinger Bands. So one of the conditions are that prior to the alert going off, okay, price moves into the upper Bollinger Band. Now, where was we at on here? This was 16:30 on the 13th. Boy, boy, boy. Okay. That was it right there. Okay. That was the candle right there. Now, let me see if I could put a line on this candle here for you guys. Just want like a vertical line. Right there. Okay. Now you can see here, like we said, it's a blue candle. There's a blue arrow. There's a blue trend line, a blue sniper later. The problem is price does not get into this lower volatility band. There are 3 lines here. This is a proprietary indicator on Sniper Pro. It's like a Bollinger Band, but it's not exactly like one. Okay. So you can see there's 3 lines here. This is the first line, the blue line, the second line, and the third. So there's shading between the second line and the third line. There's no shading between the first and second line. Okay. You could see the upper one here, same thing. There's the first line, it's red. Second line, third line. No shading between line 1 and 2, shading between 2 and 3. Okay, price has to move into this lower band before you get this alert here, or else it's an invalid trade. The other thing is, which is a little bit hard to see here, but there is a midpoint. There are these little gray dots here, and it's the midway point between the top red line, here, this first one, and the first blue line. So there is a midway point here. It's these little gray dots. You could see them a little bit better over here, but you could see how they come through here. And you could see here that this candle does close below those. Okay, so that is good. The price never gets into the lower Bollinger Band. And so that's why this trade does not meet all 6 of the conditions. And as such, you can see here, it would be a losing trade because your stop loss would go at your recent low here, and this candle would come down and stop you out. Same thing happens here, guys. Doesn't meet all 6 of the criteria. Okay, here we go. This one here, you could see the alert right here. Price closes above that 55 for a buy. Pretty big stop loss, guys. It has to come all the way down here, okay? So this one does not work out for you, actually. This would actually be a losing trade. This is maybe the first losing trade that I've seen since I started, looking for trades using this strategy. This is probably the first one. Now, remember, the other thing is this. You never get up 1-to-1 here. So again, if you would get up a 1-to-1 on this, which is basically right about here, then you can move your stop loss to break even and you'd get a break even on this. But it doesn't get up there. So this is a losing trade. It's okay to lose trades. But I'm going to tell you, what I've found here is you're not going to lose very many with this one. Look at this. Here's two winning scenarios here on CADJPY, right? Actually, this one's not valid here because, again, this is the signal candle and it doesn't close above the 55. It's the next one that does. But this one does close above the 55. And it's important that the candle below it doesn't, okay? So this one does close. And you could see here you have a quick 1 to 2.45, right? So when you're up. Here you go, guys. I'm going to show you this real fast here. When you're up 1-to-1 on this trade, or let's say, right, 1-to-1, that's basically right about there. What you could do is, and this is why I like to make it 1-to-1.5. I'm going to stick with the 1-to-1.5. Okay, you're up 1-to-1.5, right? And what you can do is you're then all right, let's just make it 1-to-1. There's 1-to-1. So let's put this line right here. That's a 1-to-1. So price gets to there, you move your stop loss to break even. Okay, now price keeps moving up. This is ridiculous. It's just this thing will not do what I need it to do. So price moves up, and now right here you're up 1-to-2. So once you pass that 1-to-2, now you're going to move your stop loss from break even up to the +1, where 1-to-1 was at. And then you're going to let it run. If it gets to up 3%, then you move your stop loss up to here where +2 is at. And that's how you do it. And then you just let it run. Now, again, you could just decide to exit trades at 1-to-2. Okay. Or as you test things out, you're taking your demo trades, you might see, hey, I can get 1-to-3 as on most of these trades. And so you might want to do 1-to-3. That's where the testing needs to be done. Okay, guys, that's really where the testing needs to be done. The real testing for this strategy is in this area right here. Should you move your stop loss to break even when you get to 1-to-1, or should you wait till 1-to-1.5? Okay. And should you exit the trade at 1-to-2, or should you trail it? Or should you just exit the trade at 1 to 3? You know, these are the things you have to test out to learn this stuff for yourself. And it also matters what kind of mindset you have. Remember, the mindset is 80 to 90% of the battle. Because if you can't handle being up and then watching a trade go against you, then you have to make sure you're just locking your profits in. But again, I would always suggest that you do at least a 1 to 2, because at a 1 to 2, that means if you win a trade with a 1 to 2, you can lose the next 2 trades and break even. So you can lose 2 out of 3 trades, only win 1, which is 33% win rate, and break even, as long as you're shooting for at least that 1 to 2. If you go to 1 to 3, then it's even better. But I digress here. I don't want to focus on that here in this video. CHFJPY, we had a good alert right here. The ATH price cross is above that 55. Everything else checked out in Sniper Pro. This moved up, as you can see, gave you almost a 1 to 5 here. I mean, it's a damn near 1 to 5 risk to reward. It is past a 1 to 5. Okay. Now again, if when you're up, you're probably going to get out of this at a 1 to 1, because what happens is when you're up 1 to 2 here, you're probably going to move your stop loss to 1 to 1, and price is going to come down and stop you out before it shoots up. Okay. Here's an alert that comes out here. This one did not meet all 6 criteria. And if you took this one, for this entry, you would have got stopped out at a loss here. Here's another one, right? Again, doesn't really work out. This one, another one, doesn't meet all 6 criteria on the scanner. I'm going to show you one of them right here, 2:45 a.m. today on CHFJPY. Guys, if you don't understand what I'm doing here, you have to watch that video first and then come back and watch this, okay? Because I know it's a little confusing. But this one here is, let's see, this one here, 2:45 a.m. today, right? CHFJPY. Okay, here's the 2:45 a.m. candle. Okay, right here. Let's put a vertical line on there. That's it right there, 2:45 a.m. this morning. Now let's look at it. We have a blue candle, nice blue candle. We had a blue sniper area below it. We had a blue trend line and a blue sniper later line. What's the problem though? Look, price comes down. Before that, does not go into the lower Bollinger Bands, right? See the lower Bollinger Bands? There's the first line, second line, third line. Price does not go down into there. Also, here's that midpoint line that I was telling you about, these little gray dots here. And this candle actually closes above those little gray dots. And for a buy, that's no good. We're already too close to that upper Bollinger Band for us to take a trade. Okay. So there's 2 things there, right? And both of them essentially are right here for a buy. Price was not in the lower Bollinger Band, and the price did close past the midway point. So everything else was met except for number 3. Again, all 6 conditions have to be met on the alert candle. Otherwise, just wait for the next one to come out. There'll be more than enough of them. All of these pairs have had them in the last several days, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and today. EURCAD, this was a good one right here. Big candle, very big candle, right? But let's look at it. Let's go here. That's all the way back Thursday. I want to go back all the way to Thursday here. But that was a good trade right there. This one here we didn't look at for some reason. So right here, here's an alert right here that did come out. The candle does close below. You get what? 858. Yeah, it does close below there. So that's 215 this morning on EUROCAD. 215 this morning on EUROCAD. Let's see what this looks like here. And this was for a sell. Here's the 2:15 a.m. candle. Okay. Um, it's a nice red candle, right? There's a red sniper arrow above it. You have a red sniper later line and a red dash trend line in the sniper later. But what's the problem, guys? It's that same rule that happened last time. Price prior to this alert going off does not get into the upper Bollinger Band. And even if it had, look where this candle closes. Here's that midway point. See those little, see these little gray dots here? They're running right up at the midway point between this red line and this blue line. And price is already way past there. As a matter of fact, this wick here is very close to the lower Bollinger Band. So that's a trade we don't want to take, okay, for that reason. And by the way, you would have lost that trade right away because had you got in, your stop loss would have been here. 30 minutes later, price would have moved up, taking you out of the trade, okay? EURCHF, there's several alerts here, or actually a couple. One went off here. This alert did not meet all 6 conditions. You would have lost that trade. This alert does not meet all 6 conditions. You would have lost that trade. Okay. Let me show you one of them since you don't believe me. 7 a.m. on Friday, EURUSD. Seven a.m. Friday, right? Friday is the 13th, right? Was that Friday or was that Sunday? Friday the 13th, 7 a.m. Friday the 13th, 7 a.m. There is the candle right there, right? There is a red sniper arrow above it. There is a sniper layer line's red plus a red dot, which is additional, and the red trend line. But again, what's the problem, guys? Price does not get anywhere near that upper Bollinger Band, right? That upper volatility band, nowhere near it. And the price is also closing below the midway point. So it just doesn't make. You'll look at every time. You'll find tons of times if you watch this, if you get started with us and you actually get on the charts and you back test it, right? You don't have to do it live, real time. You could do like I'm doing, back testing it and seeing what would have happened, right? The results are going to come out the same, whether you're back testing or doing it live. But the issue here is that, many, many times we get the our ATH RSI crossover alert, price crosses and closes either below the 55 for a sell or above for a buy, but the other 4 conditions are not met. And so we can't take the trade. And it keeps us out of losing trades time and time again, right? There's more of them here, guys. Here's one right here. This would have got you stopped out, right? EURNZD. Look at this beautiful trade right here. First, we have 2 signals here that do not meet all 6 conditions, right? This one here, right? You wouldn't have lost this trade. You may have gotten profit on this particular trade, but you may have gotten to a 1 to 2 at least. But again, we don't take the trade because it doesn't meet all 6 conditions, right? Sometimes you won't be able to take the trade because it doesn't meet all 6 conditions, and that trade will just take off in your direction. It'll be a good trade. That's okay. You have to follow your trading plan because most of the time when all 6 conditions are not met, what I'm finding right now in the limited amount of time I've been looking, you would end up losing that trade. Here, you take this candle here, right? You end up losing that trade. But then this one right here is a valid entry. All six conditions are met. Look at that move. 1 to 3. An easy 1 to 3. EURUSD, here's one right here. This one here is a losing trade. That's the second one I found, right? Second one I found. This trade here would have lost. All 6 conditions were met on this, right? It's just a losing trade. GBPAUD, right? Here's 2 alerts that the other 4 conditions were not met on Sniper Pro, so we didn't take the trades. That would have been a loss. This would have been a loss. But then we get this alert right here that does meet all the conditions. Let's see if we can show you this one real fast. This was 15 past midnight this morning in GA. So 15 past midnight this morning on GA. Right there, that candle right there, okay? See how price moves up into that upper Bollinger Band. It actually goes through the upper band, right? You can see that. Then your alert goes off right here on the 15, on 15 candle, right? These are 15-minute candles. So this is at 12:15, right after midnight this morning, okay? You got a red candle, red sniper arrow, okay? Down here in the sniper later, we have a red sniper line and a red tread line. Everything's there. Now look, here's that halfway point I was telling you about. See those dots there? See how this candle does not close anywhere close to that halfway point. That makes this a valid trade. It meets all 6 conditions, right? All 6 conditions are met. Take that trade. That's an easy 1 to 2.5 right now. So again, this video, there's just, you could see all the pairs that have situations here. Here's a winning trade here going down, and then today you get a winning trade going up, right? This gets to a 1 to 2.71. This one got to a 1 to 5 over a 1 to 5, right? GBPNZD, here's 3. Here's 3 where all 6 conditions weren't met. Price is just moving sideways here. This one, right, would have ended up losing. This one would have ended up losing. This one would have been a good trade, right? This one would have been a good trade, but what happened was this candle just doesn't quite close below the 55. Look at that. It ends up measuring at, let me see here. It's, I must have wrote the wrong values down there. There it is. It closes at 2.25178, and the moving average line was at 2.25174. So it was 4 pips away from closing, 5 pips away from closing below that moving average line. So you would not have taken that trade, but look at what happened. Again, sometimes you won't be able to take a trade because of it, okay? That's okay. You're going to have plenty of opportunities, and if you stick to these 6 rules, you're going to get only the very best trades, okay? And if you take only the very best setups, that means that you're going to win a higher percentage. That only makes sense, okay? And of course, if you don't, then your strategy is just no good. GU, look at that. We had this one here, really big candle, but still, even with a really big candle, you get, you know, you get almost a 1 to 2 here. So you're probably going to get stopped out of this one at break even, right? But then if you get in here, again, it may be the same thing. This may end up being a break-even trade too, right? Because you can't move that stop loss in the profit until you're up at least 2% or whatever 2 times your risk is. If you're risking 1%, then that's 2%. If you're somebody that's advanced, then you're risking 2 or 3% on a trade, then it's either 4 or 6% that you have to be up. You don't want to move your stop loss until you get there, or you don't want to move it in the profit until you get there. So these trades might end up breaking even for you. Okay, here. This one did not meet all six. This one did not meet all six. This is a losing trade. This is a losing trade. These two here don't meet all six. Both of these would have been losing trades. There's four setups right there that Sniper Pro keeps you out of, right? Because on TradingView, you're just looking for our communities ATH RSI crossover arrow indicator, and you're looking to see if price got to the right side of the 55 EMA. That's all you're looking at here. But then when you go to Sniper Pro, that's what keeps you out of these bad trades, right? Look at this one. This one went off Sunday, 11 p.m., right? Let's pull this up. I know I'm making this video long, guys, but I got to show you these. Sunday at 11 p.m., the 15th, what was it, 2300? That's 11 p.m., right? Let's look at this one. 2300, right? Oh, boy, let's see here. Sunday, 2300. There's a 2300 candle right there. Nice red candle, right? What happened? Price didn't get up into the upper Bollinger Band, nowhere close. Price is already closed below the halfway point. And by the way, the trend down in the sniper later is blue. It's not even red. How about that? Let's look at the next one. What time was that? Another sale, 2:15. All right, where are we at here? 2:15 right here. Oh, nice big red candle again, right? But look, trend line down here is blue. Oh, price doesn't get nowhere close to the upper Bollinger Band, and price is already closed below the midway point of the volatility band. No reason to take that trade. And again, you would have lost it. What about this one here? 6 p.m. tonight. And then 9, what was that? 6 and 7? 6 and 7 p.m. tonight, right? Let's look at those two. Where are we at here? There's the 1800 candle. Well, that's a gray candle, right? So that's no good. The trend down here is red, meaning it's bearish, and this was for a buy. Price never got anywhere near the lower volatility band, right? Or did it? No, it's nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it, guys. So you can see that trade's no good. Keeps you out of the bad trades, guys. NZD CHF. There's another one here. Kept us out of this trade. Sniper Pro did. And it was a losing trade. And you here, we get a trade right here. This trade goes off at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. So more than likely you wouldn't take this trade, guys. Right? Had you taken this trade at 1:30 p.m. on Friday, which you really have no business doing, it would have lost. Okay? But again, how many winning trades have I showed you? Look at this one in USDCAD. Oh, keeps us out of this losing trade right here. Well, actually, it may not be a losing trade because your risk isn't that bad. You may be able to get out of this one at break even. Okay. But you can see here, this one's much better. And you have at least a 1 to 4 risk to reward on it, right? Let's look at this one real fast. This is UCAD because we're almost done here. So this one here was at 5 a.m. today for a buy. 5 a.m. today for a buy. Where the heck was that at? 5 a.m. That's that candle right there. That's a red candle. It's not even a blue candle, right? Everything's red. Everything's red on that. Price doesn't get into the lower volatility band. And this was supposed to be a buy, right? 5 a.m. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong day. 5 a.m. Friday the 13th. Let's go back here, guys. Oh, boy. There's the 5 a.m. candle right there. It's a gray candle, blue arrow below it. Price closes already, on the other side of the midpoint. Doesn't get into the the lower Bollinger Band at all. So that's why that trade's not valid. But this one right here that goes off today at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. today. Look at that one, guys. Look at that big red candle. Oh, look. Price goes up into that upper Bollinger Band. See that line there? Right? This 1 a.m. candle does not close below this midway point. See those gray dots there? Doesn't close below. We have a red arrow above the candle, the red candle. We have a red sniper line, a red trend line, and we have an additional confirmation, which is a red crossover dot. Not only on that candle, but also on the one before it. So this tells you that's a very powerful trade, and you get a 1 to 4 on that one. You could have gotten a 1 to 4 on that one. Okay. So that's if you get out there. More than likely, what would happen is you'd be up 1 to 3 on this one, which is right about here. And so then once you get to the 1 to 4, which is right here, you would move your stop loss to the 1 to 3, which is there, and price would come up and you would get stopped out with a 1 to 3. So that's what happens when you trail your stop like that, guys. I used to like sell half the position at one point, but that just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense because now you don't have as much in the trade, and so you're selling half the position in profit, say, but it just doesn't make sense. So I don't do that anymore, and I don't tell people to do that anymore. So there you have it, guys. I think there's actually even more I could show you here. Here's USDJPY, right? You look at all these bad trades here. These bad alerts. These are alerts that the ATH indicator gave us. They closed on the correct side of the 55, but all 6 conditions were not met. Look at that nice big candle there. All right. This one would have ended up losing more than likely. These ones definitely would have lost. This one would have lost. All these would have lost. Let's look at the last one here. 2:15 a.m. today. It's a buy. 2:15 a.m. today on USDJPY. Let's go back a little bit further. 2:15. Look at that. It's a gray candle, first of all, right? So it's not a blue or gold candle. You do have a blue arrow below it. You have a blue sniper later, but your sniper later line is blue as well. But it's a gray candle. Price did get into the lower Bollinger Band here. See how that wick goes in there? But the close of this candle is way above that midway point, and the wick is almost up in the upper band. So once price gets to the upper band, what are we expecting? We're expecting it to correct downward. So we don't want to take a buy there. We're too far extended. And that's why we don't take that trade. How about UJ? UJ, we had a nice trade back here. This was actually on Wednesday, the 11th. This ended up, getting us close to a 1 to 2 here. Okay. So this one, I don't know. It got close to 1 to 2. You might have just got stopped out here at break even. It doesn't look like, yeah, you might have just got stopped out at break even. So, but that's okay. Getting stopped out at break even is fine. Here you have an indicator goes off, but it's not a valid trade. Here you have another one. So you would have lost this one. You would have lost this one. This one, this one's not good because the candle doesn't close above the 55. You see that? But this one does close above the 55 at 8 a.m. Let me show you that one in UJ real fast. Eight a.m. today. This blue candle right here. Looks good, but price never gets into the lower Bollinger Band, and the candle closes above that midway point. right? So that's why you wouldn't take that trade. Uh, by the way, here, look at this scorecard over here you get. This is the other strategy that I teach here, right? Scorecard candle. But that's the other strategy. So I'm not going to bore you with that. Okay. That is if you look on the Sniper Pro PDF file, that's this strategy right here. Sniper Pro Forex strategy, my 15-minute entry system with higher time frame trend confirmation. So there's the video for that. And here are the trading rules that are in that video for that there. Again, 6 conditions that need to be met. Okay. So there you have it, guys. I mean, look, I mean, you got to get started with us here so that you could try this out for yourself. You could try it out 5 or 6 days after you pay. If you're not happy with it, you contact the company. You say, "Hey, I don't think this is going to work for me. Just give me my money back," and the company will do that as long as you're within that 7-day window. So let's get you started here because again, there's the conditions for buys, the blue RSI alert. Price crosses, closes above the 55. Price was in lower Bollinger Band, but the close of the candle is not past the midway point. Blue or gold candle, blue sniper arrow or super sniper arrow below the candle, and a blue dash trend line and sniper later. Just the opposite for the sells. Let's get started, guys. Get with me today so I can send you the link. And if you have this PDF file, if you scroll all the way down here, you'll get to Brandon Boyd's overview video for JIFU. And there's a link right here where you can sign up. Tells you what to do. Have a great night, guys.